You're listening to Swift News, your daily news briefing in just 10 minutes. This is episode 12, and it's May 15th, 2025. Let's get into today's stories.
Okay, so today's headlines, they really show how everything's connected, don't they? We've got politics spilling into trade, economies shifting.
Definitely. And consumer habits playing a big role, too. Plus, these environmental stories alongside some really inspiring innovation.
Exactly. So let's try and unpack what's really going on behind these headlines.
Right. Let's kick off with global affairs. India putting retaliatory tariffs on Pakistani textiles. Now, beyond the politics, what does this mean practically?
Well, practically speaking, if you're importing these textiles, or even if you're just buying clothes made from them, this could really squeeze the supply chain.
And that means higher prices, potentially?
Potentially, yes. It hits businesses' costs, and that often gets passed on to you, the consumer. It's a direct economic effect, not just diplomatic noise.
Makes sense. Then staying in India, there's this bar bribery case in Kerala escalating. 2 aides of a minister arrested.
Yeah, that's significant. When people close to power get caught up in things like this, it really chips away at public trust in how things are run.
It makes you wonder about accountability, doesn't it, at the state level?
Absolutely. It puts a spotlight on the integrity of the whole system meant to serve the public. Big questions there for the state's political future.
Okay, shifting gears. Brazil and Germany striking deals on green energy. This sounds pretty positive for the energy sector globally.
It does. It's potentially a big boost for, moving towards more sustainable energy when major economies collaborate like this.
It spurs innovation, drives down costs.
Exactly. It could influence the kind of energy we all rely on down the road, and the industry's built around it. It's a strong signal about investing in renewables.
Meanwhile, there's this claim from Houthi rebels about a drone attack on a Saudi oil facility. That kind of news always makes the oil markets jumpy.
Unfortunately, yes. Any hint of instability in major oil regions tends to create volatility. And for you listening, that often means, well, fluctuating fuel prices.
Right. It can hit your wallet through gas prices, transport costs, even wider inflation sometimes.
It just highlights how much we still rely on these sensitive geopolitical areas for energy.
Okay, let's look at business. India's Sensex, their stock market index, took quite a tumble, an 800-point drop after a recent high. That kind of swing must make investors nervous.
Oh, absolutely. Volatility like that, especially when people are already worried about things like those tariffs we mentioned, it creates a lot of uncertainty.
It shows how global events and markets are just so tightly linked.
It really does. It affects investment values, retirement accounts potentially, a reminder of the bigger economic picture.
But it's not all gloom. Amazon India saw profits surge by 33%. That's huge.
It is huge, and it seems largely driven by things like festive sales. It just underlines how powerful e-commerce has become.
Our online shopping habits are directly fueling that growth.
Your clicks translate into their profits, essentially. Makes you think about the future of retail, doesn't it?
Definitely. Slightly more concerning news from Punjab raids uncovering thousands of liters of fake liquor.
Yeah, and this comes after reports of deaths linked to illicit alcohol, so this is a really serious public safety issue.
It highlights the dangers of unregulated stuff, especially things you consume.
Absolutely. Proper regulation and consumer awareness are just critical to avoid tragedies like that.
And over in Kenya, Safaricom is launching a new e-wallet. Sounds like a move to make digital payments even easier there.
It does. Innovations like this can really change daily life, making transactions quicker, more convenient. It could boost financial inclusion, too.
Interesting. Okay, let's switch to sports. Big IPL match. Gujarat Titans versus Delhi Capitals.
Crucial game. Playoff spots are on the line, so yeah, huge anticipation for cricket fans following the IPL.
And in soccer, Nigeria's Super Falcons beat Ghana 2-1 in a friendly. Getting ready for AFCON.
It looks like it. A win against a strong rival like Ghana is great preparation and builds confidence ahead of the Africa Women's Cup of Nations. Lots of excitement building there.
Up and over to the NBA. Miami Heat versus the Lakers, Game 6. But Jimmy Butler's status is uncertain.
Talk about high stakes. If a key player like Butler might be out, it throws a huge question mark over a critical game like this. Really keeps fans on the edge of their seats.
And Japan's judo team. Sounds like they cleaned up at the Asian Championships.
Total dominance. They look incredibly strong, clearly focused on the Olympics, definitely ones to watch on the global stage.
Okay, entertainment and culture. Wordle yesterday, FLTE. Musical theme trips some people up, I bet.
Yeah, Wordle likes to do that, doesn't it? Keeps it interesting, makes you think outside the box sometimes.
New movie release, Craven the Hunter. Getting mixed reviews, though.
Seems like critics are divided, so,
Oh.
might be one of those films you need to see for yourself if you're into that genre, action, or superhero stuff.
And Severance is back. Season 2 premiere, getting buzz online.
Yeah, lots of talk on X, people calling it a mind bender. Sounds like it's delivering that suspense fans were waiting for. Definitely intriguing.
Music News DeVito teased a new single.
And it's already trending, apparently. Shows his reach, doesn't it? Fans are clearly eager for new music from him.
Right, let's turn to the environment and science. Some concerning news about pilot whales stranded on the coast in Tamil Nadu.
That's always worrying to hear. Strandings like that can point to wider environmental issues. Hopefully, the rescue efforts are successful, but it also raises questions about why it happened.
On a more positive note, promising results from trials for an mRNA bird flu vaccine?
Yes, that's potentially very significant. An effective vaccine using that mRNA tech could be a vital tool for protecting poultry flocks and, our food supply by extension.
That technology allows for rapid development, right? Which is key for outbreaks.
Exactly. Speed and scalability are huge advantages there.
Less positive news from South Africa. A worsening drought hitting maize crops.
Yeah, and that's serious because South Africa is a major maize producer. When their harvest is hit hard,
It can ripple outwards, affect global food prices.
it certainly can, especially for a staple crop like maize. You could see an impact on grocery costs in various parts of the world due to tighter supply.
And finally, in this section, SpaceX had a successful lunar probe launch.
Another step forward in space exploration, it's heading for lunar orbit eventually, part of that bigger push back towards the moon. Good to see that progress continuing.
Okay, last section. Events and human stories. Farmers protesting in Haryana over delayed crop payments.
This really highlights the struggles farmers can face, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Delayed
sure.
payments can cause huge disruption to their livelihoods and the rural economy.
Absolutely. But then we have an inspiring story from Lagos. A teenager won a global prize for an AI waste sorting app.
Fantastic. Using AI to tackle waste sorting, that's exactly the kind of innovation we need. Shows how young people can contribute solutions to big environmental problems.
Really impressive. Meanwhile, in Toronto, a 50% surge in demand at food banks.
That is a stark figure, a 50% jump. It's a really worrying indicator of rising food insecurity, likely tied to inflation and the cost of living in major cities.
A tough reality for many.
Indeed.
And to end on a more uplifting note, a Syrian refugee family opening a bakery in Jordan.
That's a wonderful story. Rebuilding lives, contributing to the community through something like a bakery. It's a real testament to resilience and hope against the odds.
It really is. Well, that wraps up our main stories.
A lot covered there.
That's your world in 10 minutes with Swift News. The world in 10 minutes. From tariffs to triumphs, whales to winners, we've got you covered. Follow us for daily updates. Join us tomorrow for episode 13. Stay curious. Stay informed. This is Swift News, signing off.
Listening back to all that, the interconnectedness really stands out, doesn't it? How, like, a trade issue impacts your shopping, or how tech innovation tackles environmental challenges. Thinking about all these threads, what single trend we discussed today do you think might impact your life the most in the next few months? And what else might you want to find out about it? Something to consider.